Hello, everyone. Fel Arias here, and we are continuing today with my Epic the Musical animatics from my playlist. Now, I this is going into the Wisdom Saga, so by now, I guess y'all should probably understand this spiel. Although I'm going to be reviewing more animatics later with a co-host, Jammy Giraffe, for those of you who know him. I'll put a link down below for him. We've already recorded the first half of the Troy Saga for some animatics. I also plan on doing like artist highlight videos, if possible, which include I'll probably have one for Britpow Pixel and quite a few other artists. I really want to do one for Jimena as well. Likely Gigi. A lot of this artist review stuff will probably be for artists who have put out more than 5 epic animatics or rough animations, as it were. Or if they have other stuff on their YouTube, I might just highlight that or like their websites and stuff because, again, as far as I know, I don't know their personal lives or anything like that, but I know that they are willing to dedicate their time to give us all of this entertainment. So I think these artists are pretty great. And I'm definitely not just trying to I'm definitely not trying. I don't want to do the Wisdom Saga. Do I have to? Do I really have to? I mean, it's not even that the entire Wisdom Saga is bad, but there are just certain songs I just really don't agree with. Mm. And I guess I can't avoid it. So let's just get started with Gigi's version of Legendary. Ugh. Now, I don't have many problems with Legendary, other than I think it should have started out like it instead of being like 7 years later, it should have started off as a meanwhile after Thunderbringer, and we should start with Telemachus being younger and Legendary being kind of like a montage song of Telemachus getting older and like growing up. That is what I would personally like to see from Legendary. But a lot of people just have it, "Oh, hey, even though he acts incredibly childlike and everything, we're going to, oh, show him as being a 20-year-old who talks like a literal child and just go from there." Ugh. Not a knock to the actual singer, it's mostly the lyrics and how fantasized Odysseus is. It's very much like a from a child's perspective than what I would expect from a 20-year-old, including some of the choices like the la 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 legendary. I wouldn't expect a 20-year-old prince to do some like a riff like that, especially not just one and have it not appear ever again whatsoever. Again, if you're going to do stuff like that, you want to have it be a pattern for the most part. Because just having it once makes it insanely odd. Unless, like, we included other musical changes throughout the Wisdom Saga, which we don't. We don't include any actual song type changes whatsoever. So it kinda stands out a bit too much and not in the like, it's fun, but it's not really a good change in my opinion. So let's get into this. I probably will avoid I'm trying to avoid the saga so much. I'm pretty sure I'm going to try to avoid 600 Strike just about as much as I'm trying to avoid this saga. Oh, but let's just get started with this. At least the artwork throughout the entirety of the saga is superb. I think this is the first time I have duvet box in my playlist. So let's get started. I do enjoy this song, and I love the fact that Gigi goes and like looks through Ithaca.
It's just me, myself, and I, stuck in my bedroom, living in this world you left behind.
Okay, even with all my problems, as I say, with all my problems, I absolutely adore this musical, absolutely adore the songs, no matter my issues with the lyrics or anything. And my goodness, this song is going to be stuck in my head throughout the next week. I really think this is a good song, even with all of the problems. I really do. It's, it, oh, it just has so much heart behind it. Mm.
Dreaming of all these monsters that
I'll never get to fight.
But boy, I wish I could, so
I could bring the world some light.
Cause I'm stuck with your stories,
but no clue who you are.
And no idea if you're dead
Or just too far. Sorry.
Somebody tell me, come and
It's one of the hardest songs not to sing along with.
If I fight those monsters,
Oh, and we got Odysseus' dog.
If so, then give me sirens and a cyclops. Give me giants and a hydra. I know life and fate are scary, but I wanna be legendary. I'll fight the harpies and chimeras,
The Minotaur and Cerberus.
I
The
know
life and fate is scary, but I want to be legendary.
There are strangers in our halls, trying to win the
I'm sorry, even I can't not do the legendary when it comes up. I can't. I've listened to this song too many times. Even with my problems, as I've said, I absolutely adore this song. I love it so much. Oh,
heart of my mom, but she is standing tall. 108 old faces of men who call me small. They keep taking space and it's not much longer we can stall.
and I do love the way Gigi, like actual time to talk about the animatic. I love the way Gigi has all these different men behaving differently and Telemachus doing his best to like avoid them. But the fact is that Telemachus still has to somewhat interact with them and be around them because they are taking part of Xenia in his home and being rude motherfuckers. Okay, rude wannabe motherfuckers because they do want to fuck his mom.
Cause they're getting impatient, dangerous too. And I would fight them if I was half as strong as you.
Yep. Because yeah, for those of you who don't know, they were bordering on breaking Xenia so many times. These men got so close. They were running right on the edge of being kicked out. They were overstaying their welcome. They were overindulging in the hospitality. They were doing so many things wrong with what they were doing. But they were maintaining themselves enough that it might be an insult to them and their families to be kicked out, if I remember right, or something similar to that. There's a reason these men were not just thrown the fuck out. And if they were behaving like this, they would have been thrown the fuck out. That is one of the problems I have with the Wisdom Saga. Even if I absolutely love the songs and everything. It's one of my main logical storytelling problems because why go with these choices? Why do you have to make so many things that make absolutely no sense such bops? Why? We're not even to Little Wolf yet.
Come and give me the strength.
Oh, you're adorable,
Can I
Telemachus.
do whatever it takes to keep my mom safe? If so, then give me
I
sirens and
love
a
this
cyclops. Give
dream
me giants and a
sequence.
hydra. I know
I love
life
it so
ain't fate or
much.
scary, but I wanna be.
Again, I think this is one of Gigi's most recent animatics. You can just tell how much Gigi has improved from Horse and Infant and Just a Man. Just in this shot alone. The amount of leaps and bounds Gigi has made in their art style and their artwork, and even, like, the timing and framing, the composition, colors, all of it has improved so much, and they were already really amazing in my opinion, but just this is they just leveled up.
Legendary. I'll fight the heartbeats and chimeras. The Minotaur.
And I love another thing I absolutely love about Gigi's version of Legendary is it's showing Telemachus in these political discussions, in these things, having to do research, having to carry scrolls around, having to actually participate in discussions and stuff, which a lot of other videos just show him kind of fucking around.
Even Cerberus. I know life and fate are scary, but I wanna be legendary. Where is he? Where is the man who loved you to wife? Oh, oh, oh. Where is he? Where is the man with whom you'll spend your life? 'Cause it's been 20 years, and we still have.
Oh, just that scene right there. That scene right the fuck there. That was so beautiful. Gotta watch it
Love you
again.
to wife, oh, oh, oh. Where is he? Where is the man with whom you'll spend your life? 'Cause it's
Oh,
been 20
yes.
years, and we still
Oh,
have no king. Give me a
that
chance,
was
a single
gorgeous.
opportunity, and I'll overcome these obstacles and scrutiny. And boy,
I love the color
when's your
change.
tramp of a mother gonna choose a new husband? Why don't you open her room
I also absolutely adore Gigi's version of antinous.
so we can have fun with her? Don't you dare call my mother a tramp.
Yes, Gigi getting those extra frames in there for emphasis. Yes. And we got all these just like faceless bodies and everything.
Oh, I just did. What you gonna do about it, champ?
Now, for those of you who don't know, Telemachus, even though he looks like he's about 15, 16, he's well, I don't know for sure if this is Gigi. Like, we're not given a hard in musical year when this is taking place. Supposedly, it's 7 years after Thun well, yeah, 7 years after Thunderbringer. So Telemachus would be about 20 or 21, depending on how old he was when Odysseus left. So if he was closer to, like, 6 months or a year old, then he'd be, like, closer to 21. Antinous here, this guy that looks like he's in his mid-30s is roughly maybe 5 years apart in age from Telemachus. And because of this song and the way the disrespect is handled, a lot of people, also due to the voice actors and stuff, probably the singers, a lot of people show Antinous as being much older than Telemachus. Again, we're not actually given any ages of these characters or anything like that in Epic the Musical, but just a little interesting little tidbit there.
Somebody tell
Going into the
me,
dream
come and
sequence.
give me a
Yes.
sign. If I fight this.
Ah, showing them all as wolves, which is also interesting considering if I remember right, one of Odysseus's ancestor was called a wolf or something like that. So I don't know, reading too much into like symbolism and things here. Likely wolves are just often seen as villains and such in stories, mythologies, fairy tales. Wolves are never the good characters in most European, American, etc. stories, which which is unfortunate considering how really amazing wolves are, but they are terrifying as fuck. And yeah, they would murder people. Like, if they were hungry, yeah, 100%.
This monster isn't you, I'll find.
Oh, thank you, Gigi.
It's just me, myself.
Look at these adorable pictures of telemachus. Oh my god. He's so adorable. Ah, we got Gigi's patrons over here. Oh, hey, Casper Fox.
And I, stuck in my bedroom, living in this
World
world
you left behind.
dreaming of
All
all
these
these monsters
that I'll never get to fight.
But boy, I wish I could, so I
Could bring the world some light.
'Cause I'm
Stuck with your stories, but no clue who you are.
No idea if you're
Dead or just too far.
Somebody
Tell
tell
me,
me, come and
give me a sign.
If I fight those monsters.
Okay, now we have Duvet Box because Duvet Box is fucking amazing. Oh my goodness. Again, I don't think I have another animatic by Duvet Box earlier on, but Duvet Box does a lot of animatics. I will likely also do a video about Duvet Box if I end up having the time. Because oh my goodness, there's so much I wanna do for my channel, and again, I swear, I'm definitely not avoiding playing Little Wolf. I'm so not avoiding playing Little Wolf whatsoever, but I just wanna talk about the videos I have planned for, like, Nightwing and, like, comic book reviews, and shit, I actually have to listen to this, don't I? At least I get to see artwork by Duvet Box. That is the one benefit of this rough animation. 'Cause okay, I think this might be my least favorite song in Epic the Musical is this one. Cause even with everything else, this one just triggers my it completely obliterates my suspension of disbelief. Obliterates it. Because for those of you who may have forgotten, Telemachus is the prince. They still have guards and soldiers. Odysseus did not leave with everybody because that would not be practical. He needed to leave some people there to protect his family while he was gone. He needed to leave enough people to protect Ithaca so they wouldn't be invaded, hopefully. Because even though Ithaca is a little island, it is still a kingdom. They still have like wealth and stuff to steal, to plunder, to raid. So he would not have taken everybody from Ithaca, which is again why the number 600 makes absolutely no goddamn sense, especially 600 people surviving after 10 years of war. No, correction, 600. Now that I think 600 Strike is my least favorite song. The Little Wolf is my second least favorite song. Um God. Oh, I can't avoid this any longer, can I? I mean, ah.
Fight, little wolf, fight, wanna entertain me. Bite, little wolf, bite, let's see how you take this. Strike, little wolf, strike, wanna be a man then. Fight,
'Cause this shit would not fly. Not only would this not fly just in general, but once if Penelope did did see her son, like, beat to shit, and it wasn't from sparring or training or from one of his instructors, she would go all hell on earth because this is 1000% breaking Xenia. This is 1000% going against hospitality. All of these men would be out. They would have the justification to throw them out, if not just straight up execute them. This makes the least amount of sense, even compared to everything else in the musical that makes no sense. This makes the least amount of sense, is this song right here. Madden Books actually had a great suggestion. Again, I believe I'm including Mad's, links in the descriptions because they're just a pretty awesome person, so think you should go check them out in their analysis if you wanna learn more about actual, like, Greek history and the actual differences between Epic the Musical and the actual Odyssey and things like that. You should go and check them out. Uh, but this song is one that, uh, as Matt suggested, this should have been a rap battle between Antinous and Telemachus, with Telemachus shaming Antinous for abusing hospitality, for abusing Xenia. And I think with that legendary, we were kind of setting up for a musical shift, which would make sense here. We could go all Hamilton on this. But having a physical fight, I can't understand the point behind it. Sure, maybe they had a friendly spar, but still, Antinous talking about the queen like that, again, would not stand. We're setting this man up to be horrible, but we're doing it in the faces of the people who have the power to punish him. This is not behind the scenes. This is directly to people who could state, "Hey, these are the reasons why this person needs to die." And that's I also have my problems with "Will Be Fine," but those are a lot more minor compared to my problems with Little Wolf. A lot more minor and could be far easier fixed. But my god, in an actual story, historical, from every perspective, if this was happening in the actual palace to the actual prince and they were talking about the actual queen this way, they would not be alive. They would not be permitted to stay at the very least. Such big issues with this. So many big issues. And yes, Little Wolf is a good song. Again, one of my least favorites, but just like with 600 Strike, I still listen to it. It mm, it just hurts. It hurts so much because the main problem is, "Oh, well, what if there aren't soldiers and stuff?" Think about this logically. If there weren't soldiers actually protecting the queen and the prince and the kingdom, why would these men all be just hanging around? Why would they just be chilling? If they could beat the shit out of Telemachus this easily, why aren't they just taking the queen? It's because there are soldiers. It's because they likely are outnumbered by people protecting the palace, or at least outskilled. It's because they don't want to be cursed by the gods, possibly. There are so many reasons why this does not work. I mm, the song itself, I don't have much of a problem with. It's the context of the song in relation to what it is applying to. And this song is probably one of the reasons why the Wisdom Saga is one of the ones I dislike the most, and one of the reasons I've been avoiding it. Okay, but let's just get this over with.
Little wolf fight, little wolf fight. You've made your worst mistake here.
God, his
Might
voice is
be
so
your
good.
last
Very
one
buttery. I love it.
You'll have run out of bones
Hands.
to
Oh my
break
god.
when you and
Duvet
I
Box
are
also
through.
does amazing hands.
I'll teach you all the lessons your daddy never could.
What sort of lessons would you know that Telemachus doesn't already know, considering how close in age you both are? Again, it makes absolutely no sense for this to be antinous doing all of this whatsoever. Maybe a different older character that they could get executed, maybe set an example of him, maybe have the guards come and interrupt the fight, or it just doesn't make sense how this ends. Ah,
This cruel world doesn't give out presents just for being good. So fight, little wolf, fight. Wanna entertain me? Bite, little wolf, bite. Let's see how you take this. Strike, little wolf, strike. Wanna be a man? Then fight, little wolf, fight, little wolf, fight. Or die, little wolf, die. Don't you know it's fight or fly, little wolf, fly. Or because you had to try, little wolf, try. Run away before you die, little wolf, die, little wolf, die.
literally saying die to the prince of a city you want to rule over. Not just rule over, you want to become the king by marrying this adult, this grown man's mom. Again, supposedly in Epic the Musical, Telemachus is supposed to be 21 at this point, which to me, considering how old I am, still seems like a child in my mind, but is far closer to an adult than how he is being depicted. Ugh. I just want to enjoy like some of Duvet Box's art here for a moment. Just Duvet Box. Mm, love it.
Need some help?
Also, Duvet Box's Athena. Oh, my queen. Mm, yes. Yes. Duvet Box's Athena could wreck me. And mind you, I say that being ace, I would let her wreck me. I'm not really into it, but if she asked, yes. 100%.
What's going on here?
Is your plan to stand around? Cause I suggest you fight back.
I don't know how.
Uppercut him, now.
Whoa. How did I do that? This time now moving slow.
No, I just made your thoughts quick.
Whoa, that is so sick.
All right now, let's try this again.
Why would none of the other men see the sudden healing ability done to Telemachus? That's the only part of this animatic that makes no sense to me, is in context. I mean, it's cool as hell. Don't get me wrong, it is cool as hell. I love it, but it doesn't make sense. Again, though, Duvet Box's hands, expressions, my god, Duvet Box. Yes. So good. There's a reason why I have so many more of Duvet Box's animatics later on this playlist, because Duvet Box excels at getting across a lot of things about the songs I don't like in ways to make them more believable. Again, like, some of the songs are not even close to being believable no matter what, but at least Duvet Box makes them palatable.
Respect for bullies.
Damn samurai.
Those who oppose their will, I've seen plenty enough to truly understand this kind of filth. Let's teach this dog a lesson in front of all his kind. One young wolf has a larger heart than all these men combined. Fight, little wolf, fight. Show them that you've got some fight. Little wolf, fight. Take advantage now and strike. Little wolf, strike. Don't go down without a fight. Little wolf, fight. Little wolf, get up and fight. Oh, maybe I pushed you a bit too hard.
I do also enjoy Duvet Box showing Athena is kind of invisible to everybody but Telemachus, and is only Telemachus can hear her by showing that she's not filled in, doing a lot of what comic book artists would do with, say, the Invisible Woman or anybody who is like Wonder Woman's invisible jet. There would always be like a slight outline or something of it to hint where it's at. But that's more for us as an audience rather than what is actually there in the comics perspective. So I enjoy that take on Athena's presence in this version of Little Wolf. And yes, again, the song is absolutely amazing. None of my critiques are actually about the song itself. It's like the context of the song and how the context absolutely baffles me.
Ow.
Mhm.
Go back and cry in your corner. Make sure your mother hears. If she won't choose a man to adorn her, will bring blood and tears. Tell me, Athena, why you came to my aid.
Oh, just look at his face. Oh, he's so cute. And just another shot of Athena because this Athena. Oof. And now I believe we are back to Gigi with "Will Be Fine" because Gigi's is one of the most adorable ones I've ever seen. My main issue with this song is, we'll get into it because it starts at the very beginning. Oh, but Gigi also pulls in the last, like, couple lines of Little Wolf.
Tell me, Athena, why you came to my aid.
I had a friend before.
Again, Athena suddenly changing to calling Odysseus a friend when specifically multiple times, not only in the past vision, she said basically they weren't going to be friends and you're not looking for a mentor, I'm not looking for a friend. They have Athena has never acknowledged a friendship with Odysseus. Never before this sudden revelation. This is completely out of nowhere.
And he was a lot like you. I helped him fight through war, but he had his demons too. And then we grew apart.
Yep.
Then his light went dark. And so I thought maybe.
Okay, this is my main problem with this. Athena, m- my muscle mommy, my wonderful goddess of wisdom. You're also the goddess of war. We learned that Athena's main goal is to raise the greatest warrior. None of that. We have not seen anything that would change that. This has basically been a leap from Athena basically going, "Oh, hey, Odysseus, so you think I'm not known and all of that bullshit, and that there apparently isn't a city named after me or any of that stuff? You think I'm selfish and all of these other things? Well, bye." After a mortal treats her that way, again, in my theories, I think that my goodbye is all just Odysseus projecting, not actually him talking with Athena, but that is for my own sanity's sake because I love that song so much, and the only way I can bear it is that. But this song, the fact that Athena, a goddess, an ancient being, a being that has seen and influenced mortal after mortal after mortal, a being who just so happens to be in the form of a woman in Epic the Musical, but is often shown as androgynous in some cases. For some reason, apparently, when a man like critiques her and talks about these things, suddenly, oh, I must be wrong. I know it's probably not on purpose, but the sudden flip and the fact that apparently it has been completely forgotten that she's the goddess of fucking war. She's not the goddess of feelings. She's not the goddess of compassion. She's the goddess of war and wisdom. She would not be taking in anything a mortal tried to critique her on because they are not worthy of that. There's no world, especially a man, especially a man that blatantly ignored her when she was trying to give him sound advice and then proceeded to show how much of a dumbass he was. There has been absolutely nothing within Epic the Musical to justify this sudden leap in morality, this sudden transformation in empathy and how a goddess of war and wisdom would consider empathy. I have so many problems with this because Athena, just because a a mortal man, a mortal man who made some of the dumbest decisions. Like, yes, he's one of her favorites because he's wise and clever and tactical and all of that jazz. Doesn't mean she'd actually take his criticism. Because even back in My Goodbye, if that really was Athena, Odysseus would be dead. He just would be dead. No lightning bolt or anything else needed. If he swore at his goddess, he would be dead. She would not take that shit. He is a mortal. His life is incredibly insignificant to her. Sure, like, they could have their favorites and stuff, but if you think Odysseus is more than just her prized pet, but suddenly, woman has to listen to man's opinion of her. Again, probably not on purpose, but it definitely feels like an unconscious sexist bias here. Again, same with what happened with Cersei, having to justify Cersei's actions against the men using men assaulting her nymphs instead of just using, the other option of, "Oh, hey, the men were overindulging and basically were overdoing things, so Cersei punished them for it." Mm. Now, there's the idea that she could be reminiscing about the conversation she had with Odysseus, about him talking about the guilt he feels as a mortal and recognizing that's not entirely something she's really thought of before because they're supposed to be warriors. That is what their culture is built around. It is something that is standard. Most of them wanna die in battle. They wanna die an honorable death sort of thing. So the idea that one would actually show that kind of vulnerability and such would be probably new to Athena. So she might be thinking about that and maybe, yes, she maybe pushed him too hard, maybe made a different call, but she'd also recognize that there was no better calls to be made. She gave him the exact advice he needed. She warned him in like Warrior of the Mind, warned him that if he took Polites' methods in and tried to emulate open arms and all that bullshit, that Odysseus would be in trouble. He's a warrior of the mind. He needs to be a warrior. He's not home yet. He still needs to be a warrior. And then we get to Polyphemus, and after Polyphemus, we get Remember Them, and at the end of Remember Them, we get Athena saying, "He's still a threat. He's still alive." And Odysseus just ignores her, reasoning that he's being merciful, leaving the Cyclops with a permanent disability, which again, back then, was considered one of the biggest insults possible, leaving someone permanently disabled like that and not giving them an honorable death. So Odysseus was being cruel by doing that, by leaving Polyphemus alive. It was not empathy. So Athena would not question what she told him, but possibly made a different call about how she went about doing it, but she would not question her advice to Odysseus, if that makes sense. Which is, again, probably why we don't actually see Athena in the actual Odyssey around this part, because Odysseus would have fucking listened to her if this had happened in the actual story. But her questioning herself over a fucking mortal blows my mind.
If I'd made a different call, maybe if I hadn't missed it all, maybe he'd be fine.
See, he would have been fine if he had listened to her. This is the same issue with like Luck Runs Out and those other songs talking about how Odysseus lies on wit and it's killed people. His wit has kept people alive. He would be fine if he had listened to Athena's advice. She would know that. She wouldn't be second guessing her actual advice here. She might be second guessing how she treated Odysseus based on his mortal feelings and stuff, and she might be like internalizing that a little bit and being like, oh, maybe I should put my advice in a different way. She still would have told him to kill Polyphemus. Because guess what? That was the right thing to do. She knows it. Not only as a goddess of war, but as a goddess of wisdom. It was the right thing to do, and she even stated the reasons why it was the right thing to do. He's still a threat until he's dead. Yes, yes, let's show how close Athena and Odysseus are, that we've done absolutely none the fuck of throughout the first half of the musical. We got Warrior of the Mind, and we got My Goodbye, and we got Athena being like, "Hey, you need to kill Polyphemus." There was no build up to think that Athena would be chilling with Odysseus to unwind together. Why is this sudden flip and mischaracterization always with women? And why does it always have to be a man's fault?
Fine. Maybe if I help enough.
See, right here, this would be great. Like, not like, I still don't think she would feel guilty, but she would be like, "Hey, maybe if I help you, it will make me like, it'll give me something to do. Maybe you have the same talents as your dad. Maybe you can be a better warrior than he was," sort of thing.
Other soul, maybe if I helped you reach your goal, life could be that right. I could sleep at night.
Even my microphone is calling it quits. Did you see it? Even my microphone. Is there no understanding of what the gods in Greek myths were actually fucking like in this musical? I mean, we got Zeus. Zeus is like 100%. Poseidon, 100%. I mean, until we get to the Vengeance Saga and 600 Strike, but that is its own thing. Breathe, breathe. Okay. We are not at 600 Strike yet. You're okay. I I'm pretty sure gods don't sleep unless they want to. This is implying it's a nightly thing. And see, the the problem I have with Epic the Musical in relation to the gods, like, I'm okay if the gods are depowered. Okay? I'm okay if they're depowered and they're ranked like just super beings, not gods, and they're just referred to as gods because they're more powerful than humans and people and all of that. But not when we get songs like Ruthlessness and Thunderbringer. You can't have those two songs and show gods like this. Now, here's the fun little thing about this. Notice the two gods that are actually displayed as badass who aren't questioning what they're doing. And then look to the one goddess who is. Again, probably not on purpose, but I digress. Still not very happy with it. This could have been Athena just talking to Telemachus about he'll be fine, about how his father would be proud of what he's been doing, about how he's doing a good job of looking after his mother and everything like that. Again, this is me kind of jumping on this bandwagon that was started about this song could have been "You'll Be Fine" instead of "Will Be Fine." Because again, goddess, mortal.
Athena, I don't know who your friend is. I don't know what he's like, but my time with you's been splendid. The best day of my life, cause I got in a fight and I didn't die.
Again, this would make so much more sense if Telemachus was so much younger. So much younger.
I've never felt strong before. You're my friend, I couldn't ask for more.
And just straight up assuming this god is your friend, putting you on equal ground with a goddess. Like, even Telemachus would know that that was, like, heresy and blasphemous. But yeah, we're almost done with the song. It is one of the shortest songs in the entire series, so let's
And
finish
so I
this.
think
Oh
maybe
god, he's adorable.
life was
Okay, I haven't said it for this song yet. I really do like this song. Overall, I think this song is really good. I just think it's shit in regards to the story of the Odyssey. The music's great. It's a bop like all the songs from Epic are. The singers are absolutely amazing. The artistic renditions of the song and what they have to work with are done insanely well. I just mm, story-wise, there are so many problems with it. Even just in Epic the musical itself, if we don't include the source material, even in Epic just by itself, Epic has a huge problem suffering from a lot of mm, of story inconsistencies and just MacGuffins and things that make no sense. To the point where me and a lot of other people have had conversations about, well, if we're only talking about Epic, how would this make this thing work? And one of the only things that I can't get to work in my brain is the fact that we have a song like 600 Strike and Thunderbringer. My main problem with this song is still like Athena questioning herself for what a male mortal told her, but also the fact that it seems that Athena is closer to mortals than any of the other gods, which seems weird. Uh,
spent as planned.
but this is
Maybe it's
adorable.
time that you
I will say the scene coming up is absolutely adorable, and I love the way it's animated, and I love, absolutely adore the way that the duet continues and is finished. Again, my beef is not with the song and the composition and the art. It's not with any of that. It's purely the characterization of Athena. That is my issue.
lend a hand. I don't think he'll mind. If not his friend, then mine.
That
Maybe
just that scene. Oh my god.
his friend, then mine. Maybe
Look how fucking cute this is. Gigi. Mm. I gotta say, this is probably one of the reasons why I picked Gigi's version is just this scene in particular because I love it. I love this scene in particular because this feels like it could be in a song called um You'll Be Fine and not Will Be Fine. Like Athena trying to talk Telemachus through things and work through things and his issues and stuff. We don't have to pacify the goddess of war to make this make sense. There's a way to do it in the story, I promise. There have been so many people who have already figured out ways to change the song to make it make more sense. and to still keep Athena being a goddess of war and wisdom. It's just so much of this, "Oh, be nice, compassion, empathy, we're going to force it down your throats," even though that's not the actual story of behind the Odyssey whatsoever. Ugh. And I mean, even the actions throughout Epic the Musical prove that that is not the point of Epic the Musical either. Open arms is not the meaning behind Epic the Musical. It is what is trying to be forced down our throat, but it has absolutely no evidence behind it whatsoever. None.
To fall is to learn one way. Maybe it's all gonna turn out great. I know we'll be fine. I know it's light. You'll find.
You're a good kid.
Thanks.
Just that scene is so cute. Scene's adorable. Mm,
The best day of my life, cause I got in a fight and I didn't die. I've never felt strong before. You're my friend, I couldn't ask for more. And so I think maybe if life wasn't spent as planned.
okay. Love in Paradise. Oof. Mm. Trying to remember which artist I got for Love in Paradise. Virus AP. Virus AP. The reason I picked Virus APs is it felt the most impactful and showed the most of what is actually happening. Because Calypso is not just annoying, which is how a lot of Love in Paradise videos seem to display her, is just an annoyance or like a bother. She's not that passive. This is very much not the case. She's not just fawning over Odysseus. And Virus AP is one of the few people that actually shows that and shows the impact of the fact that she is a goddess. And how that's not exactly a great thing for Odysseus.
Old friend, it's been 10 years since I last saw you.
Remember me? I am the infamous Odysseus!
Let's see where you've been. Keep your friends close and your enemies closer.
Ruthlessness is mercy upon us.
On the wrong move and you're done for. Anything like
Song of past romance. I see the. We won't take more suffering from you.
drown in your sorrow.
Mm, I do love Virus AP Scylla design as well. Oof.
Captain,
I have to see her.
but we'll die.
I know.
Odysseus, where did you go?
Morning, sleepyhead, you've been resting.
Also, I absolutely adore this Calypso design. Just the hair, the clothing, the pearls, just how welcoming she looks.
For a while,
And right now,
swore that you were dead when you washed up on my aisle. Did you know you talk in your sleep? Tell me though, who's Penelope?
She's my wife.
look how happy he is to be talking about Penelope and remembering her. He is such a simp for his wife, and I love that. I will say, Duvet Box also does an excellent job of showing that Calypso is more than just an annoyance, and also has one of the greatest reactions to Odysseus saying that Penelope's his wife. And 1,000,000%, Calypso knows what a wife is. I can't believe I actually need to say that, because there are people that don't think Calypso knows what a wife is. This is not Percy Jackson. This is this is this is the Odyssey by Homer. The Odyssey by Homer is what Epic the Musical is, uh, is based on, even if they get a lot of stuff wrong. Percy Jackson, it also based its story on the source material of Greek myths and legends. But if we are going to play, like, degrees of separation between different stories, there's going to be huge problems. Because if you assume that stuff that's true for Percy Jackson is true for Epic the Musical, or stuff that's true for, say, Song of Achilles is also what happens in the Iliad, or I know there's a Circe book, you think what happens in the Circe book is what happens in Epic, which also happens in the Odyssey, there's going to be a lot of misunderstandings. And a lot of bubbles need to be popped. Calypso 1000% knows what a wife is because Calypso is not 100 years old, even though that's what she claims. She's far older. Far older. I love that look.
Anyways, I've got all you could want here, all you could need here. Just you and me, my dear, my love for life. Soon into bed we'll climb and spend our time.
I'm not your man.
I'm what you want here, I'm what you need here. Just you and me, my love in paradise. Now till the end of time.
Also, Virus AP, because I've said it about so many artists so far. Goodness, you are good at hands. So many people are so amazing at hands. It seems like that seems like a qualifying factor in order to make animatics.
From here on out, you're mine. Oh,
Yeah, no, I could kill you where you stand. I'm no pet, I'm a married man.
oh, handsome, you may try, but last I
This look. This anime villainous look of, oh boy. You just kicked the wasp's nests.
checked. Goddesses can't die.
Goddess.
You're adorable. Bow down now to the immortal Calypso.
Another thing Virus AP does, like Neil Illustrator, makes their gods massive. They just have such a presence about them. Actually shows that, hey, you shouldn't fuck with the gods, which is one of the main stories of so many Greek legends. There are so many legends of people being, oh, hey, turned into spiders or otherwise because they decided to insult the gods.
Here to entertain, but fear not, I bring no pain. Cause we got all we could want here. Oh,
Just treating him like a toy. Showing how powerless he is in this situation. It's so perfect.
we could need here under my spell. We're stuck in paradise. No one can come or go. My island stays unknown.
No, I
And just showing how, instead of how annoyed Odysseus is, actually matching the fear in the tone of his voice with what is going on. Virus AP does an amazing job of that.
don't belong here. There's something wrong here. I won't be drawn to love in paradise.
Now this image gives me chills. It's so well done. Virus AP, gorgeous work. I also really enjoy their Odysseus design too, because we got our short king Odysseus for the win.
7 years she's kept you trapped out of your control. Time can take a heavy toll.
Odysseus?
All I hear are screams.
And just showing that time has passed with the length of Odysseus's hair and how Calypso has basically dressed him up like a doll.
Odie, get away from the ledge.
You don't know what I've gone through. You don't know what I've sacrificed. Every comrade I long knew. Every friend, I saw them die. And all I hear are
It will be fine, dear.
screams.
Come back inside, dear. Love of my life, come back to paradise. I know your life's been hard. I'll stay inside of your
All
heart.
I hear are
I love
screams.
you, my dear. I love our time here. Life would be so much
Just
worse
let
if
me
you
close
had
my
died. Please stay
eyes.
away from harm. Stay in my open arms.
And I absolutely adore Virus AP's version because they're showing all of these voices of Odysseus's past calling to him like sirens, tempting him to jump off the cliff. Which, I mean, Calypso didn't let him commit suicide. He tried, but Calypso doesn't allow it. But yeah, just hearing just the stuff pulling him towards jumping. And then Calypso physically holding him back and transforming to make sure that she can restrain him and keep him to herself.
He needs my help.
I do, as much as I bitched about Little Wolf and We'll Be Fine, I do like the idea of Athena recognizing that, okay, this is a bit much. He doesn't seem to be able to get away from this. Enough's enough. He needs my help. I do appreciate like that. This does not feel as out of character as because yes, acknowledging a mortal needs your help to get out of a situation involving another god. Who'd have thought? And again, we're back to Neil Illustrator because Neil just goes hard with every animatic they do. My goodness. I cannot say this enough. I love like all of the artwork and the music videos I've seen so far and the rough animatics and like rough animations and everything. But getting like the notification that Neil has released anything, whether it's a music video, whether it's epic related or not, Neil is just absolutely stunning with their talent. And a lot of that likely comes from experience in the field, general experience working on all of this stuff, handling their own professional projects, and all of that. I am so happy that Neil's haters, well, I'm so happy that all the people that gave Neil hate and shit didn't actually drive Neil out of the fandom. See, it doesn't matter if you don't agree with an artist's choices, they are giving you free candy without being in a creepy van. This is just free candy that is wrapped and packaged. This isn't This is not risky candy, and it's just being handed to you. Why would you hate on someone doing that? Like, even if you don't agree with some of Neil's choices, like, there are a lot of choices I don't agree with, like, Murchie and stuff. And yes, I can disagree with those choices, but I still acknowledge that Murchie's work and all of what Murchie does is still amazing. You can have disagreements over choices, but you shouldn't go and just shit talk someone and try to get them to leave a fandom just because you don't like those choices. Like, I also disagree with how Murchie handled My Goodbye. It's why I didn't put their My Goodbye in this animatic playlist. But I'm still going to have my friend watch it when we go through the the Cyclops saga because I want him to experience Murchie's art and vision, even if I don't agree with it. You can have disagreements with stuff like this and not be a shitty person. It's not difficult.
Father, God King, rarely do I ask for favors. Now I'm knocking on your door with hopes to save a friendship with one who's a prisoner far from home.
Also, I absolutely adore Neil's Athena design because again, smash. Like if she asked, yes. I wouldn't ask, but if she asked, yeah, I'd be okay with it. Mhm, 1000%.
Odysseus.
Divine intervention.
And another thing I love about Neil's stuff is Neil is willing to uh, push the boundaries a little bit in regards to people's comfort levels because a couch made of naked cloud women, that just screams Zeus. 1000%. It just screams Zeus, king of the gods. So perfect.
Is that what you seek? To untie apprehensions that were placed on that Greek? You are playing with thunder for a man full of shame, but if he's worth the risk of going under.
You know, I haven't simped much for these voices, but that has been so hard not to do because so many of these voices are just so simple. Go check out the actual singers and their own work. Like, don't let Antinous's songs scare you away from the actual singer, please. He's actually just an amazing singer who just got a very, very disgusting character to play. Please, please. This is like people blaming Joel for playing Valentino in Has Been Hotel. They're not the same people. It's called acting. If we didn't have people willing to be bad characters in movies and TV shows, in musicals, in all these different productions, if we didn't have people willing to play the bad characters, we wouldn't have these productions to begin with. Please do not treat these people like they're characters. Just because they they perform as that character does not mean they condone what those characters do. This is another level of media literacy I really did not understand was not comprehended by people. This is not about separating the art from the artist. This is literally like this person's job is to portray and act like this other person in a production that is fictional. This is not their own, like, they are doing art, but they are performing. This is not necessarily their artistic vision. And again, we need bad guys for stories, for certain stories. Without bad guys, then we don't really have heroes. Like, yes, there can be stories without heroes and villains and et cetera, et cetera. And yes, we can have redeemable people and yada yada. But the thing is we can't do that without bad guys. Ugh. Need to make sure that I mute and unmute my mic at the right times.
Why not make it a game?
Now,
Convince each of them that he ought to be released, and I'll release him.
I absolutely adore the fact that Zeus is like, "Oh, I'll make this a game," because he knows Athena will be able to do this. Athena is smart and wise and all the above. So, she's his favorite daughter. For those who don't know, Athena is Zeus's favorite daughter. Favorite child in general, I should say. She's his favorite. But to not piss off, like, Poseidon or something, I can see him setting up a trial so he has probable so he has deniability behind this. So he can say, "Oh, hey, well, actually, I set this up and I totally didn't think she'd win, brother. I totally didn't. I um, completely, didn't think she'd win." For those of you who didn't catch on, I was crossing my fingers. Um, sorry, that was a stupid gag. I might cut it out. But I definitely think this was more so he'd have an excuse to be like, "Hey, I tried to stop her, but she really wanted to do this, so I set this thing up. I didn't think she'd do it. I didn't think she'd win." So that makes sense. Another thing is a lot of the gods don't seem don't have a reason to be picked. Because some of the gods had nothing to do with like the issues with not only like the Trojan War, but anything else Odysseus has been going through. But I get it. Like, cool. We get these other gods. I'm fine. This is one of those things where it's like, oh, this is odd to me, but I don't really have a problem with it. Also, Zeus naked. He kind of looks like he's naked behind those clouds. Huh. Oh no, no, no. He is wearing something. Sorry, it just looked like it might be, like, hair on his leg, but no, that those are the borders of a skirt. I'm just gonna call it a skirt because I don't wanna look up the actual name of it, of the, like, waist down toga.
Who's them?
Apollo!
Apollo, not Helios. The cattle belong to Helios. Yes, it is very confusing. One of them is the god of the sun, the other one is the sun god. Very confusing. I can understand why people mix them up. But this is one of the reasons why Apollo does not sing about his cattle being killed, because they're not his cattle. Because that really, for people who did think the cattle were Apollo's, but then we got to this song and he wasn't singing about Odysseus's men killing his cattle. That's not his beef. I'm not apologizing for that one because that one's completely accidental. Completely accidental. Um, but the fact that he goes with the sirens instead should be a big enough hint that um the person's the god whose cattle like belong to, they're different. Even Like, within Epic the Musical, when we get to this point, it's pretty obvious these are 2 different gods. Granted, they both have basically interchangeable names, so I understand where the confusion came from, completely understand. But at this point, it should be clear that they were 2 different people when Apollo starts singing.
Hephaestus!
Another thing I wanna highlight is the fact that ooh, Aphrodite. Neil has such original designs for so many of these characters, and their attention to detail and just the refinement
Great.
of these designs is so good.
Bring it.
Apollo!
You all know I'm a fan of catchy songs. So with so many sirens gone, I think God is in the wrong.
They were trying to do him worse. All he did was reimburse them. Now they'll tread with caution first to live another day and sing another verse.
If that's true, release him.
And really, Apollo didn't have anything in this fight. He's just like one of the gods where Zeus is like, "Oh, hey, he's available. Let's pull him into this bullshit." Oh god, and Neil's Hephaestus. The mech.
Justice not given is forced. Why should I give in
Again,
my support?
Neil goes
He
so
sacrificed
hard.
his own cohort.
Did you forget they failed to
So
listen?
hard.
He was betrayed and then imprisoned. But if you make the right decision, he can still build a future with those who miss him.
And I do love the fact that it's
Oh,
actual
really?
fights as well.
You're a little high and mighty. Odyssey.
Oh, and this sorry, I had to pause it here because oh, it's just gorgeous. Just the way Aphrodite's reflection is so wicked. But yeah, Aphrodite is the only one that has a incredibly solid argument. No one else does. Even Ares. Ares is just trying to piss Athena off. Aphrodite has serious arguments about why she has problems with Odysseus. And they're legitimate arguments.
Claims to love his mother, but let her die of a broken heart. He was busy fighting, more like busy spiting.
Oh, just Neil. My God.
The Cyclops let him feel the pain that his mother felt and wrought.
But yeah, if Odysseus had killed Polyphemus or hadn't doxed himself, they would be home. He would be home likely before his mom died. It is the cost of Odysseus's pride that he didn't make it home in time for his mom's passing. It is his fault that she died of a broken heart. This is again, the only person pulling forth a valid argument is Athena. I mean, part of Ares's argument is also true if we consider culture and all of that. So, yeah. So part of Ares is also true. But Aphrodite's, oh my goodness, she is just reading Odysseus his rights and is being accurate.
Wait! Please reconsider this.
Really, Athena? These old tricks?
And I like the sign that Ares can break through Athena's power because they're both gods of war. Their powers kind of resonate, I guess.
Ares!
And just combining
What kind of
Athena and I mean not Athena, Aphrodite and
He didn't even fight Scylla.
Ah.
Didn't even try to kill her. Hides in
see that's the one thing Ares says that I really have a problem with is even he as a god would know that those mortals stood no fight against Scylla and they should have ran. Even the gods would know that. Someone pointed it out to me that very likely this is just Ares being bitter about the Trojan War and trying to piss Athena off. He's just listing whatever he can think of, even if it doesn't make sense. He's listing whatever he can think of to piss Athena off.
Inside a wooden horse to get the job
Now
done.
that's
Never
real.
handles things up
Yep,
front,
that is
pathetic and
true.
weak like his son.
Hold your tongue now. He sounds my friend.
And I do think that she could have said something other than his son's my friend. I don't know what off the top of my head, but anything else would have been better. Anything else.
And tell your lover that a broken heart can mend. You want more bloodshed, then set him free. To get back to his homestead, he'll make everybody bleed. Release him.
God, they're so pretty. All of Neil's artwork is so pretty.
Hey, baby.
So many heroes, so many times.
And for those of you who don't know, Hera is often depicted with peacock motif and peacock themes, which I absolutely adore that Neil is 1000% embracing that. Just with the dress, the hands, the everything. And I love how we get like this huge amount of uh foreshortening and stuff from Hera's foot all the way up, and it just draws our eyes up to the tail of hands.
Give me one good reason.
And all of these like creations of Hera's, just they've got the peacock eye motif over the front of their face and also in their wardrobe. It's so beautiful. She has the presence of a queen.
Why you should prevail. He's got the mind of a genius, try harder. He's
And I also love the fact that the outfits go along with Hera's more disco vibes in Epic the Musical with the pantsuits. Such good details.
pretty skilled with words.
You can do better than that.
He's kind of funny.
Never once has he cheated on his wife.
Just the cocky look of, oh, I just won. Love Athena here. Gorgeous.
Release him.
I've played your game and won. Release him.
Now, I was discussing with a friend about this part in particular, and even they stated, yeah, Athena is Zeus's favorite. She did beat his game and won, and usually gods will follow through with their word. Kind of like Fae that way. They might be a little bit more literal about their word and such, but usually if stuff is set up, they go through with it. So they brought up the fact that likely in Epic the Musical, the reason Zeus doesn't just let Athena win and announce she won is because the very last fight, Athena brings up the fact that Zeus has cheated on Hera multiple times. And that even though Athena is his favorite daughter, he's a little bitter about that part, about her bringing up his baggage in order to win this fight. So that makes sense to me as an excuse as to why this works in Epic the Musical. I still don't feel like this is, if we went with the actual source material, I do not feel like Athena would end up having to fight Zeus. If we went with the actual source material and pulled from that, I think that Zeus would kind of cave. I can see us wanting to do another verse, but the song at this point is already almost 4 minutes long. We could do a nice little wrap up here and not have this epic final fight. Athena's not the main character. She's not. She doesn't need an epic one-on-one anime fight. Now, on the other hand, my god, does it look so badass when animated. No matter my problems with it, again, this for everything, no matter my problems with it, does not change how fucking amazing and awesome it looks when it's done. People are just working with what they have. It's not their fault that what they have doesn't make sense.
You dare to defy me,
But it
to
still
make me
is
feel
awesome.
shame. No one beats me. No one wins my game.
And just pulling Olympus apart into pieces. He's the king of the fucking gods. Yes. Eagle into the clouds. His super god form.
Is she dead?
Now, I'm not sure what it takes to kill a god. I'm really not. So I'm not sure how this would be handled. I'm kind of sad that it got this far. Again, like, I don't think Zeus would actually try to kill Athena because he freaking loves her, favorite child and all that. But for Epic the Musical, if we're disregarding all of that and all the source material and everything else we know, um, for Zeus not to hold back at all when this is supposed to be about Athena convincing him is interesting. But again, artist works with what they have. And what Neil had is someone asking if Athena was dead, aka Ares asking if Athena's dead. Because all of them, like, they were just fucking around with Athena. They were. There's no actual reason for them to be here. But I love the shots of the past and everything, and that Athena being scarred and also having some of Zeus's power in her now. So one of her eyes is golden, so she has the blue and gold eye. For those of you who don't know, Zeus is basically Athena's mom and dad because she sprang from Zeus's forehead. She she is the goddess of wisdom. So it's very interesting that Neil took this approach, and I absolutely love it. And again, the yellow eye is where the lightning scar now is. Gorgeous. Like, such incredible story building elements inside Neil's art. And just the other gods trying to tell Zeus to stop and that this might be too far. And then using Hephaestus's shield that he gave her earlier. And I will say this is the main reason why I picked Neil's animatic. It's not just because of the level of animation. It's because of this last part right here of a child begging their parent for help using a hug instead of,
Please.
like, so many people have Athena crawling and, like, reaching towards Zeus and then collapsing at Zeus's feet. And yes, that does give a certain amount of empathy and impact. But to me, for the story we've seen thus far, for the story that Epic itself wants to tell, even if I believe that that message fails spectacularly, but for the message Epic is trying to get across and how Epic wants to show Athena changed, this is gorgeous. This is the perfect way to end this song. Not Athena collapsing or anything, but Zeus realizing no matter how angry I am, this is still my daughter and I still care about her.
Let him go.
And yeah, she still does like faint, but she doesn't collapse on the ground. Zeus carries her. Because again, he's number one girl dad. No matter how like misogynistic and sexist he might be, Athena is his favorite and will always remain his favorite. Oof. Oh, that was a tough ride. But we only have 2 sagas left. Oh, we only have 2 sagas left. So the next time you join me for Epic, we will be on the Vengeance Saga, which has some of my favorite songs and my absolute least favorite song in the entire musical. I'm probably gonna rant about 600th Strike for a very long time on its own. But it is duvet box as well, so it will look amazing. Anyways, thank you all for joining me. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. If you enjoyed any part of this video in particular, please let me know. I'm still like getting used to all of this and trying to make content that I enjoy and other people enjoy as well. So if you enjoy my nerdy ramblings, please let me know. I'd appreciate it. I'm trying to make sure I have early access stuff up on my Patreon for free members. I will also have some behind the scenes like stuff for the animatics I'm working on, specifically the radio silence one that I'm working on right now. I will end up posting like sneak peeks and behind the scenes stuff for free members on my Patreon. Likely some of that will only come out after I release the full animatic. But yeah, if you want to be a free member and get stuff early, like not promising it'll be out as early as same day as the prior episodes or anything. I'm trying, I promise. I just have a full-time job and I'm not monetized or anything yet, so I am also my own editor and all of the above, so I do not have much time on my hands while also trying to maintain a house and look after my pets. And frankly, my house and my pets and my job come first compared to this content. But I also really do appreciate all of you. So I want to keep making this and I want to keep doing this. So I'm going to do my best, but I might not be able to meet like everything 100%. And I'm really sorry about that. Anyway, I hope you all have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for joining me and bye-bye.